Hello there and welcome back to F1 Manager. Sorry for the short break. Been a busy week, been addicted to a different game, Helldivers. But finally back in F1 Manager, and today we're going to finally see if we can close one of the series here. The speedrun that has lasted since the release of the game. And we have the two female drivers here. We have a 27-point gap to Red Bull. And we have 4 races here, I believe, unless my math is off, to decide the victor for this season. So currently we're 27 points behind Red Bull, but we are 58 points ahead in the Drivers' Championship. It's going to take a massive, accident, if you will, to throw that away. But we still have a little bit of a challenge ahead of us here going into the Mexican Grand Prix and the last few races of this season. Now, in this video, we are going to do basically the rest of the season. We are going to get it finished, so it could be a bit of a longer episode. We shall see. Rear wings have failed, suspension has failed. We're going to go ahead and get those replaced immediately. And there was a comment earlier, like medium risk, high risk. You can go into the race weekend with these being at risk. It doesn't actually, slow down your car. It doesn't actually have any effects. It just means that, after the next race, they will most likely fail and gonna need a replacement. So running pieces that have risk attached to them is not necessarily a bad thing. It's perfectly fine to do so. Now, you probably do want to buy a new engine here with 4 races to go. Contreras is going to have to take a penalty this next race, which could give Red Bull a little bit of a chance to come back, but that new engine should help us out. And while our technical chief here has his contract running out, we are going to be very confident and say that we are going to be managing to close down that 27-point gap. We have been improving throughout the season, so I do have hopes that we can make a little bit of a difference here. But yeah, 4 days, Mexican GP. What are we doing in terms of the car development? We are purely on research in case we fail. I hope we don't, but we shall see. Sponsoring Mackenzie Cresswell. We have 131 million. We can be a little bit kind and invest in Mackenzie Cresswell's, career, but at the same time, we're investing in a guy that we know nothing of, so that is a little bit interesting. Tsunoda and Sainz, both free agents, is also interesting. So yeah, I'm going to be looking forward to this year. In terms of what we're going to be doing here, finish position, one car is going to be in the top 3. It's just the best way I feel to set that up. Both cars into Q2 and both cars into Q3. Again, it is a little bit cowardly to do like this, but it does guarantee that we get the golds, and it does build up money over time. Now with that said, let's just go directly into the Mexican GP, and we are going to be buying Contreras a new engine here. We're getting closer to qualifying, and as it turns out, we don't really have a lot of cost cap remaining, because we're going to have to buy an engine, which we just did, and we're also going to have to buy, before the end of the season, an extra ERS. So you might as well take these losses here, but this is going to limit how much we can develop this car going into the end of this, develop this car looking into the next season. But at the same time, I think it's going to be worth it. That's the whole thing. That's the whole kind of point of what we're doing this. So there's no real reason not to go ahead and invest in that extra engine, that extra ERS. We kind of have to. It's going to be partly cloudy. It's Mexico. I think we have good chances of getting overtakes done. It's still going to be somewhat challenging, but we can probably come up with a aggressive strategy to kind of counter that. For now, though, we're just going to get the quality done quickly and see where we stack up. Contreras is going to be starting at the back of the grid anyway, so honestly, the best I could do is probably just have her stay in the garage. But we'll see how the quality turns out. Let's see how this goes. The Red Bull losses aren't stopping, so Norris is taking a penalty. This is Q2, keep in mind. Norris is taking a penalty. We don't know what yet. Could be that he got something last time we played, I'm a little bit unsure. But Contreras is taking a penalty, that's for certain. Norris has not done well. We have Behrman here up in 4th so far. But Verstappen has bombed out of Q2. That's going to be massive. honestly. That's going to have a huge effect on how things are going to be going here, because that's really going to be, well, helping us out, unsurprisingly. And also, for Nyman, we have extra medium and, well, sorry, for Contreras, she actually has extra medium tires. And as you can expect, that could come in handy. I'll have to see exactly how well different tires work on this track, but having extra medium is usually always a nice thing. Quali has reached its conclusion, and we had a massive half a second here from Nyman to Norris, and 7/10 almost, well 6/10 really, from Contreras to Norris. So it's looking good. Behrman though still in 4th, which is a little bit surprising from the Haas here. We might need to take a look at them, how they're performing, because this is definitely higher than I would have ever anticipated. But yeah, that is the current status quo. But yeah, this is looking very, very promising for, well, the race on Sunday. Let's actually see how well that extra medium set that we have would actually perform around here. So mediums to softs, that's about almost a 4/10 difference. Basically, softs have an advantage for 12, 13 laps compared to the mediums. But it could definitely be something that we might try and do here with, say, soft, medium, medium. That could definitely be potentially a choice. We are starting last in 20th, which is not surprising. We switched to components. It is kind of what you expect. But let's see here if we were to say start on soft, because we do start pretty far back. We go onto that medium tire, and then we go on to, say, another medium tire. How would that look? Would it be viable? Or would it be better to start on a medium tire and go full attack twice? This is going to be a bit of an aggressive strategy, probably a little bit more aggressive than what we would like. But we could do something like this. It's estimated to be 20 to 26 seconds quicker than the other strategies. But what I'm considering here is straight up doing something like this, where we kind of take care of our soft tires a little bit after we go onto the medium. And as you can see, this one is about 6 seconds quicker. And again, the idea here is simple. We push on the softs, we go into mediums, and honestly, I think this is going to be our best bet. It's either that or we do something like a medium, we push a little bit, and then we go into the hard tire, but even that is going to be slow compared to what we could do. Now, of course, any red flags is going to mess us up massively, but I think this very, very aggressive strategy is going to do the trick for Contreras. Now, for Nyman, we can be a little bit more conservative and go with something a little bit more common, if you will, something like this, or even using two sets of soft tires, which, as you can see, would be more beneficial to do something like maybe this. Could also just do this. As you can see, running the soft tires here on light rather than standard is actually going to be quicker because of how degradation works. So that is an interesting thing to keep in mind. And it does also make me wonder if with Contreras here, if we would be quicker now. We would not. Not really, but you see, we have that option, potentially. What if we do it like this? It could almost work. Okay, we don't want to do that, though, so let's just go back without saving. Yeah, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. It should be fine, honestly. I think it is the best thing we have available to us. We're starting last, and we're starting first. And we'll have to see exactly where Norris ends up, but Verstappen is going to start somewhere around the 10s. So I'm still very, very happy with how things are going. Let's just get into this, see if we can make our way back into the points. Again, Contreras has 58 points on Verstappen. So as long as we perform well here, it's going to be good. But we would love to beat Red Bull and catch up to those final 27 points.
This is it. Here we go with the Mexico City.
See a Red Bull right there. Where's the other one? Has.
Lights out and away we go.
If anyone had this on their bingo card, I would be very impressed. It's a Haas on the front row, and that's the Haas of Behrman. Now, Behrman is an excellent talent. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think I ever expected this. Now, in terms of where the Red Bulls are, Norris is in 7th. We have Verstappen in 10th. So they're kind of where we expected. And Behrman here takes advantage of the situation and jumps up into 1st. Now, the question is, can he stay there? We have a yellow flag. Doesn't look like our car was part of the crash, at least. It's actually Leclerc. Okay, that's not great. Okay, so I guess Leclerc bullied the Alpine, but he suffered for it. He lost his end plate. Did the Alpine lose any tire? But yeah, eventful start here. Yeah, Alpine lost a little bit on that hard tire, which is not great for them. I'll be perfectly honest. But yeah, it looks like we are looking at a fairly good start here. Even though Neumann is still second, I don't think it's going to be too long before we get the overtake done. But again, I'm kind of amazed here at Behrman and the fact that Haas is leading. I didn't see that one coming, I'll be honest. But yeah, let's see here if starting on the soft tire and pushing was the correct choice, or if I'm going to get punished later on.
To be the McLaren that's involved.
We've had another incident. This time it is Porsche,
Here we are then,
who
looking at
has
turn 12.
eaten the turn 12 wall. A light touch though, so nothing too major. And with that, we have now been given a little bit of a helping hand there to get our way up into 17th. Yeah, we still have a lot of work ahead of us, honestly. But Contreras is already getting a bit of work done here, as you can see. Moving very aggressively upwards here on lap 4. We might be in trouble here. The car that you see eating the wall is Contreras. And I don't know what happened.
Now here we are at the final corner. Oh, and the car with a nasty crash into the barrier.
That's most likely the gearbox gone.
Mistake. One momentary lapse of concentration.
That is most likely the gearbox completely gone. So we'll have to see. At least we have Neumann still in first. And I just realized something that you probably have been yelling at me about. The fact that I completely forgot about the fact that, well, these guys eat tires for breakfast. So, yeah, we do have to keep that in mind. But I think we'll still just go full attack on these softs and just do this strategy. I still think it's the best thing that we have available to us. But yeah, Contreras probably wouldn't be able to carry out her strategy till the end. Norris, Verstappen, 6th and 8th. We're still in danger here now. We are going to need first with fastest lap if we want to make anything happen here, I feel. So this is going to be a difficult race, and that is a terrible start. That's a bad enough start that the third place might jump you. It's because you're not deployed. Well, honestly, the reaction was terrible, so I can't even blame that. But yeah, that was a horrible start when we really needed to create a gap. So yeah, that is not great. At least Norris and Perez also had terrible starts as a result of that, I think. But yeah, not great. Let's see if we can work our way up here until we get to that first pit stop. And we are going to be burning these softs till the absolute ground. And then we're going to use the other two softs to run light. And hopefully that'll turn things out for the better. We're getting increasingly closer here to Neumann's pit window. And as you remember, 22 seconds is what we estimate. We hope that we can beat De Vries out. That would be the goal here. That would give us actually a nice window up to Albon. And what I am expecting is for most other teams to run a one-stopper. So we do need to get a bit of time here on our side, if you will, if we are to take advantage of well, the push that we've done. So yeah, let's see now. Can we beat De Vries out? 2.1 second stop time. De Vries is coming there. 9 minutes out in 11th. 2 seconds ahead. So honestly, so far it's looking good. There is a couple of cars in the restaurant, but it's basically up to Behrman. So I don't think Neumann is going to have too many problems just getting her way through this. And as I said, we need to secure a first place finish, and we need the Red Bulls to have a bad race to make up for Contreras' incident. So hopefully we can still come out of this, well, at least a little bit better than we were before. We'll also have to see if we took any engine damage because we had fresh components, ERS, and engine.
And yep,
We've had a bit of an incident here. Unfortunately, Behrman had a good race, running in second, and then he too locked up like Porsche. Just a light touch, but it's still gonna... Well, you're not out. Don't be dramatic. But it is gonna ruin his race a little bit. In terms of Neumann, up into 4th here, we still have every car in front needing to pit. And we are very close to them as well, so honestly, it's going fairly well here. Actually does make a move here on Norris, gets it done. Nice job.
Right then.
Let's have a look at
take
that.
look now. Now the Alpha Tauri involved here. Can they squeeze by?
Game is lagging a little bit. It's not the video, it's the game that is
Up
twitching,
into
if
third
that makes
and
sense.
contending for a podium place.
But yeah, it is looking good so far. So currently we have been pushing with Nyman, we're back in first, but I'm wondering if we want to push for one more lap or if we want to pitch, because as you can see here, Verstappen, he's not going till the end. If he is, his tires are going to be dead. Norris could go to the end, most likely will. Ocon gonna have to pit, so a lot of cars behind us are gonna have to pit, but the question is, do we want to push one more lap to give us a little bit more breathing space? Because as you can see here, we have been losing durability a little bit quicker than we'd like here. So I think we are going to take advantage of the DRS the Sergeant gave us, do one more lap on these soft tires, and then get in at the end of this one. I think that's going to be fine. And Ocon does pit, and as I said here, Leclerc's going to need to pit, Verstappen's going to need to pit. So it's not really a big deal pitting like this, but I really also would like to, if we could, snatch the fastest lap. That's going to be kind of important. Leclerc's pitting in behind us. Verstappen keeps on going. That should put us out in second with Sargent behind. So it's looking really good here. As I said, Verstappen by the end of this is going to have absolutely gone tires, so we should be able to get him. But even then, it is looking kind of threatening here with the potential for a Red Bull podium, at least from Norris. But Verstappen, as I said, I don't think he should be ending up in the podium by the end of this. We'll have to see, though. For now, though, we'll allow things to progress. 22 laps to go. Let's see if we can snatch the win. So currently, we've been overtaken by both Leclerc and Gasly. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because they're clearly pushing. You can kind of see that from their tyre usage. We have Norris and Verstappen in 4th and 5th, and Verstappen is going to be pushing now that he's on his fresh tyres, but it's 15 seconds or around there, so that's going to be a little bit difficult for him. Currently, we're just sitting behind, saving up fuel for an attack. It's still a lot of time to go, but yeah, Verstappen here could definitely come out as a bit of a threat. I'll just have to pray that Gasly and Leclerc can hold on, because they're actually kind of our defense right now. So once we actually do end up getting the overtake done, we might be forced to play things a little bit more on the cautious side. Because right now, Verstappen is running 19.2s, while Leclerc is running faster. But as you can see, Gasly with a 24. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows at the moment. It is getting dangerous with Verstappen now putting in a 17. 17.7, I think it was. Yeah. So Norris, I need you to hold up Verstappen. Good luck. It is what I need you to do. And for Neumann here, I kind of need her to get the overtake done and place herself into the second place of this DRS train. Because, well, attacking late has been an Achilles heel for me several times. We don't want to leave Gasly behind, though. That's kind of important to note. But if Neumann can drag these two with her, that's going to benefit us. So never mind.
Are you okay?
You gremlin, Leclerc.
Yellow flag here. Now we should be able to take a look here. And it was involving Leclerc this time. Barely any room to maneuver. And not just one car involved in that.
I'm surprised they got back on the track so quick, though. Like, we're just 2.5 seconds behind. Did we lose tire durability? We did. We lost a lot of it. At least we didn't lose the confidence. But damn. That's horrible. Now Norris and Verstappen is just 4 seconds behind. We don't have tire to fight. We don't have anything. No penalties given. Why am I not surprised? Ah. Leclerc's gonna get the overtake done and probably cause mayhem again. I'm worried now. I'm really worried now. Because, as you can see, we lost a lot of tire. That's one. What is the best option here? I'm wondering if we say... We don't have any tires that would allow us to do anything that makes sense. 22 seconds to pit, this is going to be 9/10 quicker. Can we go attack for 10 laps? Yes. How quick is that going to be though? That is the question. Because this is definitely what I call a bit of a problemo. Okay. If we were to pit, it would be 12 seconds slower. That is the estimation. But I'm also worried that she won't be able to take these tires till the end. That is my secondary concern. But yeah, damn Leclerc, not only did we crash out, but Leclerc decided that he wanted to cause a little bit more problems. Now, as long as we are second in the DRS train, I guess we can burn down Verstappen's tires. But again, he's gonna win. I don't think there's any way around the fact that Verstappen is most likely gonna win this due to that last shenanigan. We're gonna have to run conservative a little bit, and even that is putting our tires into... No, we can't. It's gonna put us into too cold territory. I'm bitter. I'm bitter and upset right now. I'll be honest. I think that the only thing that we can do here is just maintain the status quo, where we have Verstappen behind us and Leclerc in front. And Neumann does not agree with that. Can we catch Gasly is going to be the big question now, because what's most likely going to happen is Verstappen's going to get enough oomph to overtake Leclerc. Like, the tires just aren't on our side here. And honestly, I don't want to have Leclerc running behind me that close anyways, because Leclerc is currently low confidence. That's the thing, Leclerc is currently running low confidence behind us, and that is terrifying. But I need him to hold up Verstappen. I need Leclerc to get third. This is like a prisoner's dilemma where I'm gambling. I'm gambling making till the end of this race. That's what I'm gambling. I think we'll just have to try and manage this, maintain this for the next 5 laps, and then make a attack on Gasly on the lap after that. So I'll try and maintain where we are, and hopefully we can stay here until the end. Let's see how it looks in a few laps' time.
Heading down the straight,
Well,
the gap opens up for them.
the status quo wasn't maintained at all. Let's just put it like that. At least Leclerc is still holding up Verstappen. That's the only good thing right now. Well, as I say that, he's fighting his way by. So yeah, Neumann, I guess the only thing we can do is go for the win. They're gonna get 18 plus 10 points. We can kind of keep... We'll stay in the fight, provided that we can, you know, hold Verstappen behind us. But as you can see, he's quick. But this is not looking great. That's the best way I can describe it. It's not looking good at all. I think we're just gonna have to gamble everything on a last lap attack. That's what I'm feeling here. Last lap attack. Sorry for that. I don't think we have any other choice than that. And even then, we don't really have enough tire to do anything. We can start pushing at least to stay with him. I think that's the only thing we can do. And we might even have to deploy here. You can see that. It gained half a second in the corner. This is the final lap, though. Full attack. Try and get something done. We need to get the overtake done here. And I'm going to put her on high-risk overtakes. Lawson with a lockup. Does not affect us at all. Come on. Nice. Okay. Question. Speaking like the Ferrari boys. Can we stay ahead? That's going to be the big one right now. We have enough of a gap where I think it might be viable, but the tires have just said we're done for the day. But looks like we might be good. Just maybe. That was closer than I liked, but we did win. We did not get fastest lap, I believe. But yeah, that was something. That was something indeed.
That was a brilliant...
we did not get fastest laps, so they extend the gap by 4 points. Verstappen gains 19 points of the 58, I think it was, on Contreras. Unfortunately, Behrman ends up in 10th after having a massive qualifying for the Haas team. And yeah, Leclerc and Gasly could not hold off Verstappen, but at least they held off Norris. So I guess I can be kind of happy about that. Maybe. Driver Championship then, it is getting closer. Closer than I'd like. And Nyman here does catch up a little bit to Norris, but at the same time, we don't like this. The gap increased to 31 points, but the main thing that's going to be kind of terrifying to have a look at right now is the damage to the car. Because cost cap wise, we have 12.5 million, I believe, to go on. And if that car has suffered a lot of damage, remember I said we were most likely going to need a new ERS? We might need another one. And that engine losing 30% and the gearbox getting wrecked. Oh yeah, Red Bull. Oh, Red Bull definitely loving what's going on in our team right now. We'll have to deal with that next race weekend, honestly, but at the same time, that is going to be problematic. And financially, we're in a bit of a different problem as well. The cost cap remaining. So we're going to be a little bit careful here in terms of the parts that we need. I'm just going to play a little bit on the gambling side by having 3 of each component. But yeah, we are going to have to buy a new gearbox. There's just no way around that. And the fact that we lost 44% of the ERS and 31% of the engine from that spin and smack, that makes me very, very sad. There's just no other way to describe it. It's very, very sad. We could, of course, gamble and just buy another engine. That's going to put the cost cap even more into the gutter. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough end to the season if we're going to be able to snatch the thing in from Red Bull. And as the thing, I'm pretty sure with how this race went, Contreras would have been, if not on the podium, at least fighting Norris, so that we would have gained a few points. And again, if Leclerc hadn't done the crash with Nyman, we would have been probably been able to keep Leclerc between us and Verstappen. So it's just everything that could go wrong in that GP did go wrong. And of course you have low morale now from crashing. I'm not surprised, let's just put it like that. Let's have a quick look at how our research looks for next year. I'm just curious. We did a suspension research. We have definitely made up that. We do lack a little bit on the airflow fronts, though. Yeah. The airflow sensitivity is not something I'm too worried about, but the front wing needs a lot of work, yeah. You can see that with the airflow front. So I think the next CFD period is going to go into the front wing. Unless you're already doing it. Looks like we are. Let's get a little bit more brake cooling, airflow front. Do something like this for the suspension, I think is fine. And you might say that with the damage that we have right now, we probably should stop researching. You're not wrong. I'll be honest, you're not wrong in that assessment. But I think I'm safe enough that even if we do end up in a bad position, we'll be okay. Cost cap limit is a concern. Let's see if we can turn this around now in Brazil. And as I said here, it does suck, but we are going to have to take another penalty. It's just how things are, unfortunately. But yeah, we have the sprint, we have the race. Let's see if we can make something from that. And yeah, it's going to be a rough comeback here, I think. But even then, wet race on Sunday, that's going to make the comeback even rougher. So fingers crossed. Let's see what we can do. We've had a red flag during quali. Luckily, it's neither of us. And that actually ended quali on the final run. It didn't even tell me who crashed. But as you can see here, we have Contreras, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, and ourselves. Contreras is going to eat a penalty, but she's not alone this time around. There's a lot of people that are eating penalties for different reasons. But yeah, let's get the second practice out of the way, and then we'll get ready for the sprint. Alright, because it is a sprint, we are starting 2nd and 5th. That's going to make things slightly interesting here, because I feel like we are going to need a 1-2 here to kind of keep our dream alive. We know Verstappen is starting first. I don't remember exactly when Norris is starting, but we can go and have a look at the results for the qualifying. And Norris is starting behind us. So we have 2 Ferraris, we have Verstappen, and that is basically what we have to deal with here. So yeah, let's see if we can get the sprint done. Now, we could do a soft tire, but I think what we are going to do here is potentially just run a tiny bit of conserve with those mediums. After the first half a lap or so, we're just going to be pushing early on a little bit just to keep our positions, and then we're going to be taking it a bit slower, making sure that the mediums stay alive, and then attack towards the end. I think that is our best bet. So yeah, Red Bull, us, and us. Let's see now if Contreras can have a good start and jump the Red Bull. Does not look like that's going to happen. Nyman too had a pretty bad start. We are getting kind of used to that. And we do need to remember that we have pretty bad tire degradations. So making sure that we keep our tires alive is going to be important. And Nyman here has unfortunately lost out a position to the Red Bull already. So we're going to slow down a little bit, play a little bit safer. Verstappen is probably going to create a gap as a result, but we're probably going to get overtaken by Leclerc. And that should allow us to DRS get back into well position, because we need to take care of these tires if we are to actually just keep these mediums alive till the end of the race. So it's kind of a choice that we're forced to do, and it's also a choice that we kind of have to do just in order to keep the current situation going. But Nyman does get into fight here with Norris, should be able to get the move done. Maybe, maybe not, we'll see. So even if we are taking care of our tires, we are still a tad competitive. But yeah, we'll allow this sprint to kind of run its course like this. We'll just manage our tires and see if we can catch Verstappen. If not, we'll be hoping for a 2-3 finish. We've had another incident here with Contreras crashing.
Let's take a closer look.
Contreras, Leclerc, another incident.
Tries to get by.
And I really, really hope that didn't shave anything off the tires. Looks like the tires are fine. Confidence is not, so yeah. That's bad. So Leclerc is just... he's just playing Red Bull at the moment. Like, he's really, really helping Red Bull out. Are we going to eat a penalty here? No penalties given. At least that is a positive. But yeah, the punishment that we get here in terms of just confidence loss is going to be massive. Leclerc at least did eat a little bit more in terms of tire damage, but even then, we are going to need to get Contreras past Russell a few times, and she's already gotten that done. But even then, the confidence is very, very low. So we're going to have to keep her on low risk setups here and just try and get that confidence back up by getting DRS overtakes. I think that's going to be our best bet here. As we get a yellow flag, De Vries with a spin did give me a little bit of a heart attack, but yeah, we don't really have any other choices then. Slowly getting that confidence back up into a usable level. I think we are going to be managing DRS a bit. Just to give you a little bit of an insight on just how bad our tire issue is. So currently we've been running conserve for basically the entirety of this race, or sprint. Meanwhile, Verstappen and Norris both have better tire management than we do. So I don't think we are getting Verstappen by the end of this. I think our goal has to be to just maintain. Contreras luckily has gotten a little bit better confidence. Nyman the same. But I don't see us catching Verstappen. But I think with 3 laps to go here, we are going to go just full attack and gamble on trying to close that gap a little bit, or at least getting a little bit of a bigger gap to Norris. That's going to be, you know, a side project in that. But yeah, if we can catch Verstappen, that would be great. We've had multiple cars crashing. None that we really care about, unfortunately.
Yes, we have.
But we'll have a look.
What happened there?
Lawson and the Aston Martin. That kind of just looks like he tried to T-bone him, honestly. But yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. We are closing in, but I think we're closing in a little bit too slowly here for it to matter. We also don't really have any energy that we can use to push with. So we are limited in what we can do. Could, of course, order Nyman to just stay behind Contreras, but with Norris potentially being, well, an aggressor, I don't think that would be a good choice. And honestly, even if we started attacking a lap earlier, I don't think it would be enough here for us to get within range of Verstappen. So it's unfortunate, but basically we're going to come back to, well, come back equal after this sprint, I believe. And that's just how things are going to have to be, unfortunately. Second and third isn't really bad if you want to look at it from that perspective, but yeah. 2.5 seconds, 8 points, 7 points, yeah. Verstappen is going to gain a point on Contreras, but in terms of the Red Bull versus Tauri, we're going to still be at the same as before. Now, we are getting rain for this Sunday, so that's going to be interesting. We're starting second and third. Did we just not get punished for switching the gearbox here? I have a feeling it might have been glitched, which would be unfortunate. How do I want to handle this? The rain is supposed to be coming around lap 31, 32. Do we want to do a pit stop before that? Let's see if we go full attack here on the medium tires. It lasts until lap 15. Then we go into a soft tire, and we do this. It's unfortunate, but I think this is our best bet, just because we don't know exactly when the rain comes. It's supposed to come here. Could come a little bit earlier, could come a little bit later, but I think this is our best bet to just have everything covered, if you will. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and do just that for both cars. And again, it is just keeping things covered. That is the important part here. So if we see the rain is arriving early, we can go attack. If it's arriving later, running light is going to benefit us. There's nothing inherently wrong with doing it like this. Yeah, let's see where exactly Contreras starts, because she hasn't been punished for that extra gearbox. And if we avoid that punishment, that would be impressive. Looks like we did. So, where exactly is Norris? There he is. So Norris got pushed down to 9th. That's fine. We are losing to Leclerc again. Leclerc really being a nuisance so far, but we got that position back, which means we had a decent start. Now, what we need to do is actually just get by Verstappen and create a bit of a gap before that first pit stop, and that's going to be important. Secondarily, we also do need to, well, maybe go for fastest lap before the rain. And it glitched. Well, let me just restart this quick. Alright, so we're back at this screen. The game locked out. I went to bed. It's a new day. And I've had to think, and I took a quick look at what strategies are available to us. So last time around, I was thinking that, oh, we do a medium into a soft, just run something like this until we get to the rainy period. But honestly, that might not be the best idea ever, as we don't know if the rainy periods can come later, earlier, whichever. So what I'm thinking here is if we're just going to do this instead, we're going to be running the mediums on conserve. And in terms of race time here, you can see these are fairly equal. But if we get stuck in traffic by the early pit stop, which you definitely are going to do, it's Brazil, DRS trains are the norm. So while it's a little bit cheesy, I think what we're going to do here is revise our strategy. I still think the other one could work, but it does carry more risk. And honestly, we can't afford risk right now, so I should have done this to begin with. Sorry for going back on changing my strategy here. It might be, again, as I said, a little bit cheesy. But we're also going to have to go ahead and change the ERS to the proper one. This one's going to take damage. So yeah, let's see if this goes any better, or if we get the soft lock again.
And now, it's time for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. It's lights out and
Oh,
away
that's a
we
bad
go.
start from the Red Bull. That's what we like to see. Unfortunately, not bad enough that we caught up to him, though. And Nyman is down in 4th again with Leclerc there. Oh, I think I heard a crash behind us. Yellow flag does kind of tell us that is the case, but everyone is still running.
Oh, we've had a crash.
Guan Yu Show and Sergeant? Oh. The hard tire. Getting bumped there. But yeah, we had a decent start. This is when we actually just going to slow down the cars immediately and save a little bit of tire. And we're just going to try and stay alive until we get to a rainy period. And I think that's going to be the key here. We can't take... Honestly, I should have realized this earlier. I love high risk, high reward, or, you know, that kind of thing. But if we get into a position where we are stuck, so to speak, because we pitted a bit too early and then we get stuck in traffic, the rain comes earlier, the rain comes later, either or, it's going to be bad for us. I don't think I would like to take that risk on second thought, which is why I elected to do it like this. And we're going to hopefully have Leclerc here be a little bit more of a helping hand in this race, in the sense that he can help us with DRS to catch up to Verstappen. Because if everyone is going to do the no stop, so to speak, before the pits, then as long as we can stay here, we can probably jump at least Norris here. And honestly, that's what we kind of need to do. We need to maximize team points rather than trying to win the race, as stupid as that sounds. If these are the end results, I think we could be happy. We'll have to see though. But yeah, we're going to be a little bit more cowardly with a revised strategy after a good night's sleep. And I do think it's going to pay off in the end. That's the hope, at least. Let's see how this looks by the time we get to that first pit stop. We've completed the first 15 laps, and we gained a second on Verstappen here. We're not too far behind, but as you can see, the Verstappen is also managing his tires a little bit, so it's kind of problematic. Now, we are going to have rain for most of this race, which is why we're going to push our fuel down to a negative 2.5 kilos. I think that's fine. And if we take a look here at the rain, it's actually moved now to an earlier period by about 5 laps. That's not great for us. Actually, that is great for us. Yes. But as you can see, even running light, we are eating up these mediums quicker than anticipated, which is also why I wanted to do an aggressive strategy. And even this is kind of at the risk where we will not be making it until the rainy period. As bad as that sounds, because while the rain might start in 4 minutes, it's still going to take a while for the rain to build up on track. You saw that lap 26. So we need to make these tires last for at least 8 more laps. And that's going to be slightly challenging. But I think we can make that happen. Lap 25, 6, 7, 8. 27 or 8 laps. That's where we kind of need to make our stand. And unfortunately, we don't have the tire that we need right now to really catch up to Verstappen and get by him, which is a problem. Norris is also chasing us here, as you can see, but he's 7 seconds down the road. So at least that is good. We've also had another incident. Nothing with any of us, though. What I am thinking, though, is that we might just go up to standard now and try and push a little bit more. We don't have a lot of tire to work with here. And while catching Verstappen would be amazing, I think what we're just going to have to aim for here is a 2nd and 3rd place. Get Verstappen maybe, if we're lucky, during the pit stops. But yeah, it's not looking too good at the moment. So we can get past Leclerc. Get a little bit of chase going. But yeah, it's going to be rough because, again, we don't have a lot of tire to play with, and this is why smoothness is so important. You can kind of see it here. Even while we're taking care of our tires, we've been losing tire life so quickly. And we are probably going to have to go back here to light just to make sure that we live until, well, the pit stop. 4 minutes, it's going to start properly raining. That is basically 3 more laps around this place. So let's see if we can hold on. We just had an incredibly brave pit stop from Leclerc. He jumped in very early. But I think this is when we turned the attack on. Honestly, I think we're going to get Contreras in this lap. It's going to start raining in 1 minute. We're at 50 millimeters. So get Contreras in on this one, and we're gonna have to get our teammate out in on the next one. It's still 45 seconds until it starts properly raining, but I still think that is our best bet. Just get her in a little bit earlier. We have a little bit more time to go on. Should have gone a bit aggressive, but it is what it is. And now Nyman is gonna have to deploy. It's gonna have to push all that she has to get around the track and get into the pit stop. We might actually put her in a horrible position here. We'll see. Contreras, decent stop, comes out behind Verstappen, which is kind of what we expected. And I don't think we want to push these tires. We'll have to take a look at that in a second, but potentially we want to do a no more pit stops. We'll have to see if that is actually viable or not. But you can kind of get the idea. Let's see exactly when Nyman comes out. Probably in 4th is what I would assume. Yes, and Leclerc is currently holding up Norris. That is amazing. But we're gonna... excuse me. We're gonna need Nyman at the very least to overtake... Russell. But yeah, currently I'm a little bit undecided on what we should do. Let's have a look at what the expectations are. In terms of if we can keep these Inters alive. That's a big one. And in theory, we should be able to. In theory. But I don't know if that is actually viable. Because again, we have very high deg. That's the thing. What if we do, say, something like this? Is it going to be any quicker? Is the big question. No, it's going to be around the same. But we might be forced to do that if we want to have any chance at overtaking Verstappen. So it's basically how much risk do we wish to take? I think we're going to gamble. I think we're going to use Nyman as the full attack guinea pig, and we're going to use Contreras as the aggressive one. And we'll have to see exactly how the tires end up, because currently we've done 3 laps, 5%. Well, 2 laps. That is 5%. Yeah, she's not making it till the end on these tires, I think. Magnussen has crashed out. Magnussen should be fine. But yeah. It's gonna be a bit of a rough one, but we'll see here what we can do. 105 degrees tires, that should be okay. You can already see Contreras creating a little bit more of a gap to Russell. But the question here is, do we have what it takes to get past Verstappen and then start creating a gap? Because we're gonna have to do all of the overtakes again if we do pit. So we need to create gaps if we are to do this successfully. That's the big one. Nyman is running slower than everyone else as well, so probably not the way to do things. We'll try and run aggressive and see if we can keep the tires alive. But yeah, this might really, really backfire again. So
update on tires, update on tires.
Norris has also gotten his way past Leclerc, which is even worse. But running aggressive seems to be kind of what we might be forced to do here. And I think we also are just going to have to go full attack, push, and deploy, and try and get past Verstappen here as soon as we can. I'm also going to give you high overtake aggression, because we need to get past Verstappen before those tires overheat. But you can kind of see here, we don't have the top speed really to threaten the Red Bull. That makes sense. That does put us in a compromised position, and particularly now that our tires are going through the roof, I think this is the last chance that we'll have on this straight, and it just does not look like it'll happen. Nyman 2 is getting into rather hot territory there with the tires, but that's because she's catching up to Russell. You can kind of see that we are on the same kind of tire. We are really, really struggling to get by. So I think we don't have any choice here. Just stay with Verstappen, pit on lap 50, try and make something out of it. And already here you can see that we have degraded these tires more than anticipated. Like, we should be following this line, but we are following even lower at the moment, which is worrisome. And for Nyman here, it's even worse because she's already reached the temperature, and degradation is as if she's running full attack. So you can kind of see my worry with these inters. But I don't think we have much of a choice here. We're just going to have to try and make something happen. And Contreras is still running in the back of the Red Bull here, so we might just have to try and push through on standard. That might actually be what we might be able to pull off here. Gonna give Nyman the push as well. See what Contreras can do now. Second we started pushing energy, Verstappen immediately increased the gap, so yeah, probably not happening. The only way we're getting him is by pitting and then having a tire advantage towards the end, but you can kind of see everyone else is taking really good care of their tires, we're not. And we lost 2 seconds there for somehow. How exactly did that happen? We've already made our decision though. We've used too much of these tires, so we are going to have to do an attack and try and get by, and we're going to be pitting again. The question is just where are we going to come out? If we come out behind Leclerc, maybe we have an opportunity, so we need to kind of create a larger gap. But even that is difficult in our current situation, to be fair. So we're going to just settle in where we are. We don't really have any choice other than that. Harvest a little bit, save up energy, and then try and get something done at the last half of this race. So Contreras has pulled an incident. Luckily she didn't hit the wall, but at the same time, that is Norris overtaking. And did she just get hit? What? What?
I'm not quite sure what's happened there.
I guess it should be a penalty for us because technically, I guess that counts as rejoining unsafely, but at the same time...
There, the cars make contact.
What was that? We're gonna have to pit early and just try and make something out of this, and... yeah, that is basically 15 seconds lost. I don't think we can fight Red Bull after this, honestly. I thought this was going to be a simple end to the season, but apparently Red Bull is disagreeing with that. I think what we do is we just run these tires into the ground and then we pit. How much of the front wing did we actually lose? No easy way to look at that, apparently. Yeah.
Let's try to take opportunity.
That was weird. Did Norris suffer any damage? Did he lose any tire even? No, he didn't. That was interesting, I guess is the best way I can describe that. But yeah, that probably put us as out of contention for the championship, really. And who was that in the pits? Magnussen? Magnussen did have an incident earlier. But yeah, we're going to have to pick Contreras, and then we're going to have to try and make our way through the gang here. So, doesn't seem like we suffered any particular, you know, loss of time from that, from the damage, maybe. But yeah, you can see Verstappen, Russell, Norris, all of them are quick. So I think we're just not going to change the front wing, but at the same time, that is frustrating. Going to come out in 13th is the estimation. I'm going to double check it that we do not, yeah, we're not switching that to front wing. That was bizarre though. That's the best way I can describe that. And we'll have Nyman here go full attack until she hits. Out in 12th position. Yep, this is gonna hurt. We'll just have to try and do the best that we can here to move our way forwards. We do have tire advantage currently, so it should be doable. But at the same time, it's going to be a little bit challenging. And for Nyman here, it's just burn up these tires. Stay as close to Norris as you can while doing so. Never mind. one... Are you just gonna stay parked there now
Here
for a
we've got the
while?
yellow flag.
Oh... Do you know what? One incident rarely comes alone, and this is just a prime example of that. So yeah, let's get Neumann in this lap. Let's just see if we can salvage something here, because that is really, really bad. Like, hilariously bad. But there's nothing we can do. We just have to try and deal. So, at least our pit stops went well. Contreras in 11th, Neumann in 15th. Verstappen is going to gain a huge amount of points, so we might even lose the driver championship here. Yeah, I'll try and recover, but this is still going to be rough. Let's see what we can do here with the last 20 laps remaining. So Contreras is currently not having a good time trying to make our way past Lawson, mainly because we have no confidence after the spin and crash. So yeah, this is going to be a bit challenging. And also, as you can see here, we do have very hot tires as well, which is making it even more challenging. But there's nothing really we can do here. We're just going to have to try and get by. And if we can't, then it's probably, as I said, bye-bye to Constructors. We might need to do another season. But I think we'll be far more dominant in the next season anyways. So we might do that in a more of a condensed manner. And I know that I'm sounding very defeatist right now. Probably a bit disappointed. But at the same time, you can kind of see we're just not getting by. There's just no way to get that done. And with Nyman down in 15th here, unless we have a Red Bull crash, this is going to be really, really difficult to bring anything home with. We could still potentially get 5th here, but that's going to, as I said, require a little bit of a miracle. So yeah, that miracle is not happening. We got back by Lawson, but then we immediately spun on catching up to the rest of the guys.
Oh, and there it goes.
So, yeah. Does not look to be a good weekend at all. And we're back down in 11th. We actually used 6 seconds to get back on track there. So, yeah. It's not been a good couple of races here, honestly. We'll still try and see if we can get something done. We did also lose a lot of tire life, so hopefully we can at least score a single point here. So a terrible performance got capped out by 9th and 10th place here, which is very unfortunate. That's just 3 points for us. The only positive here is that Norris did get overtaken by, well, the gang here, Stroll and Leclerc. Verstappen still won with fastest lap, and with that, Drivers' Championship here now is looking dangerous, with just 14 points between Contreras and Verstappen, with Las Vegas and Abu Dhabi to go. Now, 60 points now is the difference, so unless both Red Bulls crash out in the final 2 races, we're probably not going to get Constructors. But female world champion, still on the menu, but at the same time, it is doubtful, to the point where I'm wondering if we should just buy another engine. But yeah, it's it has not been a good race weekend, let's just put it like that. Rear wing research complete, manufacturing complete of the suspension. So yeah, ATR has been allocated, and both front wings destroyed, failed chassis, underfloor. Gonna be a bit expensive, this, I think. So let's go ahead and make one more of these. We're also running out of what's it called? Money? Cost cap. So that's also a concern. But we are still going to get an extra underfloor here for the last 2 races, an extra chassis, and I think that should be fine. And I wanted to have a quick look at where we're at with research, because we did complete the rear wing there, and I might do, as I mentioned, just one more season where I do it a little bit more condensed, because I think our car is going to be fairly dominant next year. That's the thing. And if we take a look at the rear wing, yeah, this is without DRS, but DRS without ATR. But even then, it's still a pretty good rear wing already. And if we take a look at the board, regulations, I think I had something I wanted to use it on. Suspension, we're just barely not losing anything. The underflow, we're losing some sensitivity, which is actually our weakness in our last race. Side pods are good. The rear wing is good. We're losing sensitivity. It's the front wing that I want to use this ATR period on, and we are going to do that. And other than that, it's just, I think putting some more effort into that rear wing, getting some DRS up and going again. Chassis would give us decent gains just from doing that. See, we're getting decent gains from the rear wing as well. Honestly, from the sideboard too. So, yeah, we haven't actually done much research for the rear wing. We've done 5 for the chassis, 1 for the front wing. So I think we'll do another rear wing here. Let's get these up and turn everything down. Maybe get a little bit extra sensitivity. No, we're gonna gamble on being dominant next year. It'll be done the 8th of December. I think we do it like this. Speed it up slightly, that way we can slide in a chassis there if we have the money to do so. Honestly, we can slide in a chassis even if we do this, because we can get it done in 19 days if we use all of our engineers. So yeah, we'll do it like that. The front wing is done in a week, so we'll get that also set up before we go to Las Vegas. But yeah, it's very unfortunate because the last time around, Lady Luck was smiling at us, and today everything that can go wrong has gone wrong. There's just no better way to describe the current situation for Mexico and also the last race in Brazil. Okay, so Vaca is available. Rare Wing King, Underfloor God, From Wing God. Wouldn't be a terrible idea to pick him up if we need to do another season. Currently we have Allison here, who is more well-rounded, but Vaca is definitely better. Give us better parts. So, yeah, we might end up picking him up just for good measure. Now, this is something I do like to see. Points in kind of everything here. Braking, adaptability, accuracy. So, it's not too bad. Cost cap limit has been reached as well. But what I am thinking is that the pit crew schedule, we'll have to deal with this as well. Let's see, currently we are well rested. I did forget to set it up. Been a bit frustrated, so that probably did have an effect on me forgetting. Let's do it like this. Get that risk down a little bit. Although to be fair, we have kept our pit crew pretty much on the money, so I'm not worried. Let's just put it like that. And there we go. They finally got a little bit of fatigue. Put in a gym training before the race weekend. And as you can see, they're actually really well rested. And I think we'll do the rest afterwards. But yeah, this should be good for now. Now, we do want to do the front wing, because we're going to get access to it right now. Research complete. Manufacturing of the underfloor has been completed. And this looks like a CFD usage front wing. And I'm pretty sure it was. Which means that I was supposed to use it on the rear wing. Okay, that's a little bit unfortunate. But even then, it's fine. Again, I probably should keep like a notebook saying what I've used ATR periods on for each save. It would make my life a lot easier. But honestly, investing into the front wing like this isn't the worst idea ever. It's still going to help out next year. Yeah, I think we'll do it like this. Could also potentially use it on the, say, side pods, maybe. See if that gives us any more buffs than if we do it anywhere else. I think it might just barely do it. Let's see, airflow, middle, cooling, drag reduction. It's not a huge amount gained, but it could be beneficial. But I think what we're going to do is just use it on the front wing then, because we kind of have to at the moment. And again, while using 2 CFD periods in the same part isn't really super recommended due to expertise ceilings. Basically, if one piece, the higher the expertise is, the less gain you get, which is kind of what we're seeing here. We probably get more gain if you put it on the rear wing, which is unfortunate, but we can't really cancel the rear wing because we have financial constraints that doesn't allow that. I think this is what we're going to do. It's still going to be good. Don't get me wrong. It's still going to be decent. so can't be too upset. Could probably wait in than the underfloor, but honestly, the underfloor just losing sensitivity, so it's better to get that cornering ability back. But next year, we're definitely also going to focus a little bit more on the top speed of our car. I think that's going to be important. Chassis manufacturing has been completed, and I think we're ready here to jump into Las Vegas. And this is going to be kind of an important one, because the best strategy here is most likely going to be a one-stopper. But we most likely will not be able to do a one-stopper because our car does not allow for it, and top speed is also fairly important. So this is going to be a rough weekend, I think. One car, top 3, 2 races. Let's go for it. Fifth position, one car in the top 3. And both cars into Q3 for both of these is just what we're going to go for. But yeah, could be that we end up with a fun season next year. I guess that could be fine. Do we have any facilities we'd like to upgrade in that case? No. Like to refurbish probably these these 2 buildings. Probably also the team hub. Yep. Let's get some refurbishing underway. Again, we have a lot of money. But yeah, let's jump into the Las Vegas GP here and see if we can get some of our honor back. I did take a look at how much the last 2 races actually cost in terms of recording, and I think we're just going to have to end it here, unfortunately, which is unfortunate, but I think it's just going to be better for the long run. Otherwise, it's going to be a 2-hour video, and that's a little bit too long for my reckoning. So we're going to end it here. We're going to continue next time. Bit unfortunate that we had the 2 terrible races that we did. It kind of ruined our title opportunity. 64 points 2 races ago. We're still not completely out of it, but it's going to rely on incredible luck from our side to do 1-2s, while the Red Bulls basically do not score any points. So we're going to allow this series to have at least 1 more episode, and I do think also that maybe we'll do a condensed next season when we have drivers that are a little bit more competitive. We'll have to see. We might promote Sano here, because again, smoothness is just so important. We might have some other potential talents in the lane here, if you will. But yeah, we'll have to see. Taylor here, potentially. Yeah, it's still up for grabs, up for discussion. But honestly, I think for the time being, we're just gonna end it here, and we'll do the last 2 races next time, and hopefully have some sort of a comeback, or we might have another 2 horrible races. We'll see. But thank you very much for watching. Sorry for watching this. Hope you still enjoyed this disappointing episode in terms of how things went. We had a massive comeback last time around, and this time around we kind of threw it all away. Again, thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye bye.